When you have 8-year-old comments that people were talking about 8 months ago when it got announced that she was in a Star Wars movie, all of a sudden starting to make the rounds and go viral again. You knew this could be like a Rachel Zegler situation where people would start finding more and more stuff.
It's Hollywood, baby.
That's kind of what's starting to happen for Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy, the Pakistani female activist director who was hired to do the Rey movie, the person who has made documentaries her entire fucking career, and then gets put in charge of a, probably multi-$100 million Star Wars movie, a massive blockbuster. And it's going exactly the way you would expect it.
What I will say, and I listen, I'm not in the business of giving Disney Star Wars credit. I'm not. But let's just say it. I got to give them credit. I mean, just when I'm out, they pull me right back in.
I'm too old for this shit.
This is just so fun to roast this news story that's really an old story, but the traction is picked back up. This is going to be glorious. This is going to be glorious because I don't see any scenario. I don't see any realistic scenario where the Rey movie is going to be a success at all. It seems like this is going to be a train wreck beyond belief. And the more that you hear her past words, and we hear them over and over again, oh man, it's going to be a glorious disaster. So shout out to Disney Star Wars, bringing me right back.
They pull me back in.
Yeah, and it's funny that we're over 2 years away from this thing being released, and already the Access media is being forced to do some kind of damage control, right? Rey's next Star Wars movie's already become controversial for the most absurd reason. Well, no, it's not the most absurd reason. It's because this woman came out and immediately said, it's about time that we have a woman shape the future of Star Wars. When the past decade, that's what we've had. And it's been a complete and total nightmare. They've destroyed the brand. They've destroyed the IP, all because Kathleen Kennedy, had her way with Star Wars. And there's tons of women in the story group. There's tons of women at different executive levels around Star Wars. There's women who have directed Star Wars shit, by the way. Bryce Dallas Howard has done some of the worst episodes of The Mandalorian. Deborah Chow did the terrible Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And of course, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant is going to lead The Acolyte, which may be the worst thing we've ever seen from Star Wars.
Yeah, I just try to treat everything as if we're on RuPaul's Drag Race.
You stupid fuck! Like I said, when this started making the rounds again, her talking about making men feel uncomfortable, which is a clip from 8 years ago, where she's kind of talking about her documentaries. And if you want to go out there, if someone's calling is to make documentaries about your home country and how women are oppressed and, Muslim women being treated this way and overcoming adversity, that's fucking awesome. Do it. And we need some of that in the world. Great.
Wrong.
Why the fuck are you directing a Star Wars movie?
Yes, exactly.
Fuck. Did we hire you to do a Star Wars movie? But you knew more shit was going to come out. Shout out that Star Wars girl. This is the first place I saw it, was where she shared it. I went and found the actual source because I want to know when this thing happened. This is from 7 months ago. Not 8 years ago, 7 months ago, after it was announced that she was doing a Star Wars movie. This is the way she introduces herself to the audience.
I think at the heart of everything, I am a storyteller and an activist. And my body of work over the last 20 years has been guided by my activism. And every single piece of work that I've ever created has a piece of activism in it. It could be very overt or it could be covert, but it is there. And I think that as a storyteller, I'm not sure if all of you know this, but I'm not a trained filmmaker. So I never went to film school. I went to Smith College and did my undergraduate and studied economics and political science like a good Pakistani girl. And then
Yeah, the courtesy laugh that they all had to give her right there, that they didn't find that funny, but they had to give it a courtesy laugh.
This is the person who was laughing.
Yeah.
Oof. Anyway, but yeah, it's right there.
Howard Stern fell off, bro. Holy shit.
I'm a storyteller and I'm an activist. And every single thing I've ever done has a piece of activism. It may be overt or it may be covert, but everything I do has activism in it. This is who Disney Star Wars has hired because she's a woman, because of the area of the world where she's from, and because she's woke as fuck. Like, that's what qualifies her to be handed the keys to a multi-$100 million movie.
This is just going to be this is unbelievable, man. And again, She ends it. Well, doesn't she say like she just ended up being a filmmaker or what? How did she end this? Like, because I saw the clip Anna shared. How did she end this?
Yeah, so basically saying that she went for like economics and political science, and she just found her way. She was an accidental filmmaker.
Yes,
and that's why she focuses on storytelling. So not exactly. Listen, you want to go make an indie movie or whatever? Okay, you're giving her the keys to the first Star Wars movie that we will have seen in 6 years at this point. Somebody who has no fucking idea what they're doing, despite all the activism stuff. They have no idea what they're doing.
No, not at all. And like identity politics is truly the cancer of our existence. I mean, it is just insane. When you like, it will ruin everything if we don't get a handle on this. Whether it's look, I mean, it's already ruining the fast food industry, according to Ryan. You know what I mean? Like it's creeping into our military. It's creeping into everything. Hiring people based on identity politics is a mistake. There is never a good scenario where that makes sense. You hire qualified people that have been passionate and worked their way up based on the job that you're looking for. Like look for people, like a person that's made documentaries on being an activist who's never watched a Star Wars movie in their life is not someone you hire for Star Wars. But this is where we are. And the Rey movie, I'm telling you right now, I know we're 2 years out. I know a lot can change, but I'm just going to repeat what I've said. It seems like this could be the Disney version of Marvels. Now, I know that we've had a lot of failures from Disney Star Wars. But
have you heard of Ahsoka?
Yeah, I know. But this is going to be a film that's a wide release that you can't play with the numbers on that. You know what I mean? It's just like with the Marvels. It's not like they could. If the Marvels would have released on Disney Plus, they could have swept that one under the rug. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're really happy to announce that the Marvels got 13 million views over the course of its first 6 days, and we're so proud of its massive success.
Right. You can't sweep this one under the rug. So I do think that this is what's heading towards. And then now the Rey movie is supposed to be the first movie that releases, correct? Out of the 3 that are slotted. So the Rey movie, if the Rey movie is the first one and it goes full Marvels, bro, it's going to be so bad for them. And I don't, who cares about Daisy Ridley?
Who are you?
Nobody. Who cares about Daisy Ridley as Rey?
Rey who?
Nobody. Like, at least you could say, who cares about Mark Hamill? Nobody. Who cares about Mark Hamill as Joker? A lot of people. Who cares about Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker? A lot of people. Daisy Ridley is irrelevant whether she's the character or not. That's the big problem right now. It's not that Daisy Ridley is a pretty irrelevant actress. It's the fact that she's irrelevant in the role that people know her for, too. It would be like saying Chris Evans is irrelevant, and he's also irrelevant as Captain America, which that's not the case. You know what I mean? She's irrelevant as Rey.
Rey who?
And this is all now, the conversation has shifted a little bit, right? It'll shift back at some point, but keep in mind, the point of this Rey movie is for Rey to do what Luke was supposed to do. Yes. For Rey to succeed where Luke failed once again. For Rey to rebuild the Jedi Order like we all knew that Luke Skywalker was going to do after Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
That's what this show is about, or that's what this movie is going to be about. And now you've got some bitch who only makes documentaries about, women suffering in the Middle East. And oh, by the way, did a couple episodes of Miss Marvel. That's her only experience in fictional storytelling. And those episodes needed to be reshot by other directors, by the way, because they were so fucking bad. A little bit of inside baseball when it comes to that. But yeah, this thing is a nightmare scenario, and I am here for it. Despite us seeing some of the political or culture war talking heads start to spot off about something, and something that they're really way behind the 8 ball on, right? That they have not been paying attention to. Well, here it is. We talked about it 8 months ago. Now you finally figuring out who this bitch is.
Get ready for a glorious disaster, and we're all ready for it. Let's go.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
Rey Skywalker.
I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves!